Let me know if you get too much background noise.
Yeah. Oh, we can't hear it though, Bob.
No?
No.
No, it's quiet, Bob.
Well, right now it is.
Well.
Give it a few minutes.
Just saying.
Tom, did you get my text?
About the steel?
No, the one I just sent.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. Do we have any? We don't have any, do we?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Hey, no problem. So maybe I'm recording and I got the AI companion going to give us a summary and everything. So I'll get started for anybody that comes along. Have you guys, so Dave, Jerry, Tom, have you guys been involved with us, with the pool planning? I know Jerry has.
Yeah. Jerry, you sent me your stuff. I already have that.
Right.
So,
And Tom, have you done it with us yet?
what's that?
Has Tom done it with us yet? Control Air?
No, I don't believe so.
And Dave may or may not. He's been on a lot of jobs, so maybe he is. So the idea of it is, when the bar schedule comes out, obviously it's done, in the design phase, pre-construction, and as you can see, like if you look at what I wrote here in blue, these are the days, in the schedule that are put in for framing, for mechanical roughs, electrical roughs. So you're looking at big chunks of time, and the idea, pretty simple, behind the pool plan is take this prediction, which is done probably 3-4 months ago, maybe, a while ago, and kind of break it down to digestible weekly chunks of work. But most importantly, it's asking you guys, the experts, exactly like to break the task down into, chunks of 3 or 4 days. And then when would you start and what do you need out of your way? What do you need set up for you to start? So then every single week, you probably know, all the jobs, they're like, this is Guilford BOE. This is last week's commitment, the things that were done on the job last week that Bob submitted, and they all get tabulated, the whole 9 yards. And we kind of just try to, keep the job rolling, flowing. And my understanding is, on the job this week is Alberca, Crest, Albright, GDS, and Control Air. So with that, with the guys we have, and I've also arranged this thing that each sticky note, you're represented by a certain color. So CCA, Jerry, you guys are down here on the bottom. I think you're not going to start for a few more weeks, maybe. Albright's kind of all the way through. Dave, you're near the end, I think. Somewhere around the end of August, maybe you'll be on site. Correct me if I'm saying something stupid, okay, man?
Nope, you're all good.
So the idea is to try to build this thing, to make it more logical. Because again, the master schedule is a prediction, and there's as being in the business you are, it's only as good as the first day, right, that it's made. And then there's just so many variables. This is probably the hardest, I think this is the hardest business to run. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Bob. Maybe we could start with, this week, maybe we can put in a few tasks for the guys that are here. At the very least, I wanted to get back to doing a poll plan using Miro. That's what this software is. We can write on the sticky notes, we can move them around, do whatever we need to do with them, and just try to build this thing out where it's just more logical. And then what we do is once it gets set, then we go back and change the bar schedule to reflect what you guys have told us is real. So, Bob?
All right. So just so you all know, I will have similar to what you see in front of you here on the job site. so that your foremen that are on the site also have an idea of what's going on and what's expected of them as well. Which is one of the reasons I, asked for everybody's task lists so that I could get some of these put together. But with that said, currently I have Albright, GDS, Alberca, and Crest on site. So they are moving along. I don't have, all the tasks for Albright, but I do know that he is currently going to be, roughing in the new framing areas that we have already up. But like I said, it's a little difficult to plan ahead. I kind of know in my head what needs to be done, but it would be helpful if I had gotten lists from everybody so that I can see, a little bit further in advance. This week, I do know that we're getting steel installed. So that'll help finish up some of the framing that's going to be finishing up this week. So Bill, unfortunately, I've not really run pull plans, so I'm, kind of winging it here. So I don't know how you really want to go ahead with what's in front of us. Do you want to like go one at a time and sort of guesstimate, or, do the tasks mainly for this week and see what else I can get from everybody?
Yeah, I think we can start, with this week here, is control there. Tom, are you guys on site this week?
Yes, I'll have my piper there on Wednesday.
Okay, and
Okay.
maybe can I fill out a task there, like whatever, in the number of days you think it's gonna take them to do that tasks? So exactly what would they be doing Wednesday?
The miscellaneous demo, so half day at most.
Okay. So I'm just gonna put one in there for that, and that'll be this week
Yeah.
on Wednesday.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think the thing we're really looking to do is kind of identify, because again, the substantial completion date is, somewhere in, September 22nd, that week, and kind of be able to identify the obstacles that are going to be got in you guys' way, the things that are going to hold you up, the things that are going to slow you down, the things that are going to make it impossible for you to start. And I'd like to take note of those and get those on the plan. And
Okay.
will you be on job site next week, Tom?
I'll have to let you know. I don't have an answer right this second.
And that's fine. If you could just send, Bob or me,
Yeah.
a copy of, like, I think you get the idea, like the idea is that, for if the total number of days is big, like how's it going to be broken up in the week? What are you planning on? And then give us an idea, just how many days you're going to be on site. Make sure that that Bob's prepared for you and the other subs that are on the site.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, seeing this, how it's laid out makes sense now, and I have started it, but wasn't quite positive if it was correct or not.
Yeah.
So I can definitely do this. This is easy.
Yeah, because I do know Tom, I'm drawing a blank of the guy's name, but as far as the sheet metal, he said that he took his measurements and they're working on fabrication, but he wasn't certain if it'd be this week or next week that they would be coming with the parts, to start that.
That's exactly right. Right.
No.
Like, yeah, Bill, who was the individual on site,
Okay.
he has taken his material list, and
Right.
yeah, it's happening behind the scenes now.
I mean, the whole idea is that, the same board will be in the trailer, like Bob said, you're on a site, and so it just gives visibility to, to this orchestra that's playing, and building this thing out. All the sections can play together kind of and understand who's where. Okay, so if you just, it doesn't have to be anything fancy, but just being able to kind of just, when you're going to be on and how many days, and I'll fill in these stickies, these yellow ones.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Not a problem. Not
Yeah.
a problem.
GDS, I've already got Richie from GDS. I met with his guy Rommel on site. They're pretty much on track as we have it kind of sticky right now.
Yeah, so
From
you know
what
what it
I've
would look
seen.
like drywall, I'd probably duplicate, put drywall 5 days this week, 5 days the following week, 5 days the next week. This looks
Right.
like he has 15 days when he starts drywall on 21st of July. And then the same thing for taping. Anything that's more than, 5 days, then we would break it into, into the next week. So everybody knows that, GDS is gonna be framing or taping or whatever they're doing.
Right.
Massey, way down. Does that seem about right? Like middle of August?
Rid of glass.
Probably, would you, late August?
Oh, is
Where are
that
you?
Massey on? I forget.
No, Massey,
they're
this is,
on.
this is, no, this is TL here. That's probably gonna be towards the end,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just with the lead time, on that storefront glass and stuff.
And same thing with Dave, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Bill, what'd you say?
Yeah, same thing with Dave, right? Dave's on.
For
Yeah, the painting.
For
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
institute.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're just gonna follow the tapers. So as soon as,
Yep.
we've got a couple of rooms ready for us, we'll start priming.
Yeah.
And then the perfect scenario would be that the taper can come back, do whatever little touch up he needs to do, and then we'll spot prime that and start laying on our finish coats.
Okay.
I'd like to be ahead of the baseboard, but right behind the taper,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then, of course, in between that, we'll be priming and caulking door frames and stuff like that. So my ideal project would be to, man up the project and literally, be there until it's completed. We can always adjust manpower, whether we need 5 guys, 10 guys, or 1 guy. But, I'd like to be on site so that anything could be addressed, at any moment or on any day. So for example, if for some reason the taper wasn't ready for us, we'd be knocking out door frames or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But what I'd like to try and alleviate, Tom and Bob, and you know this, because we've worked together in the past, is the comebacks, So, we'd
Right.
like to get the taper to come, we'd like to prime, we'd like to get the taper to come in and address any drywall issues there may be. Bad joint or something like that.
Mhm.
Screw hole, maybe that needs another coat. Before we start throwing the finish coats on, because then we're gonna, as touch-ups aren't really gonna be, they're not gonna look well if we just, touch something up in the middle of the wall, which will slow us down when we're painting corner to corner.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Yep.
nobody wants to argue about, tickets and back charges and nothing like that, so
Yep.
try and wanna minimize that as best we
Yep.
can.
You got it. Okay.
And Jerry, next few weeks should be on.
Well, he'll be following the
Am I gonna follow the painter or,
painter after priming at least.
Okay. now those days there, like I told Bob, those are my total man on the project.
Yeah.
If the job is ready, we can, if we put 3 guys on there for the grid, we're gonna cut it down to 7 days.
Sure.
If the work's ahead of us, I'm not gonna send guys just to stand around.
Nope.
Right.
Doesn't make
Okay.
sense.
And then I would say, as soon as we get the grid up, we can start putting in all the cuts probably.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay, we should
Yep.
switch the grid and tile around. We can do the grid.
Yeah, Bill.
Okay.
Yeah, because the inspector will let that happen, Jerry. Get
Yeah.
the grid up and you do the cuts, he can still see whatever he has to see,
Right.
and the cuts take the longest time anyway.
Right, so we can get the cuts all in, and then that way there, when we need the full tile, it's just, a couple of days, we can just, throw all the full tiles in. Yeah.
Yes, I think same thing with these tasks, like if it's more than 5, we'll probably break it up. But again, the hurdle here is there's some tasks for ORL too. One is the above ceiling inspection complete.
Right.
In this case, are there any other Tommy inspections or things like that, Bob, that need to go on here so guys can just work smoothly and know that they can start when they think they are?
Well, Bob's gonna have the rough inspection, which for rough electrical. Once that gets done, then he can start sheetrocking. And then,
All right, let me just,
Like I said, he can get the above inspection. Jerry can have the grid up. I mean, and the rough inspection can come through. So
the rough inspection will happen, when do you anticipate that?
well, where are the electricians' tasks here? Because they got to get their roughs. Did
Albright,
Albright?
I don't, you have a list for Albright, Bob?
No, I don't have a list as of yet.
Okay, they've done this with us before, so I think.
Yeah, they have. Well, you know what? Bill, it's a new PM, Paul. I'm not sure Paul has, but you're right. Albright has, and I think Lloyd, who's on Bob's job on this job, he's done it. So,
Okay.
we just got to get it out of them.
I mean, the plan today was kind of just, bring you guys up to speed on what we're trying to do, and hopefully if we can get the task broken down and get any kind of hurdles that would be in your way, to make sure that they're cleared before you start. The idea too is, this full plan, we're working to try to get it in pre-construction, before the job gets started. Unfortunately, this thing mobilizes and gets rolling so fast. But the idea is that if this is the week of 7/7, then right away we're looking at, planning the week of 7/14, who's going to be on site, making sure they're good to go still. And then looking ahead 6 weeks also, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the week of the 18th, to see if there's anything there, that needs to get cleared up. Like, do we have doors? Is the materials there? The guy's still good to go? So it's always the following week we're looking at, and then 6 weeks down the road to try to clear up any potential hurdles if possible. So, and
All right.
yeah, I think that's it, right? I mean, I I appreciate you guys hopping on, and
Yeah. Yeah, and anybody, that can put together a list and email it to myself or Bill so that we can at least put something together. And then, even between Bill and myself, if I stick it on the board here on the site and take a picture, we can email it to everybody. If you have questions or something like that, we can correct it and get it all, straightened out so everybody's on the same page.
Yeah. Perfect.
All right.
Well, thank you so much, men, for showing up. Appreciate it.
Thank
We're
you.
gonna try-
everybody.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bob, you stay on for a minute?
Yep.